Good morning. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. I promised I would leave a video about journaling, so I thought I would take this opportunity to talk a little bit about journaling. I've done journaling my entire life. It became a little bit more refined. I took some classes, some Franklin Planner classes and some Franklin Covey classes for planning and journaling. I've done it my whole life. I did go a year, almost an entire year, without journaling, but I ended up finishing up strong. I got a journal and I actually filled up the entire thing. I didn't do a daily journal. There's different types of journals that you can do. You can follow me on Pinterest, or you can actually look up some journaling information online with Pinterest. There's videos online on YouTube that are really good. Anyway, and talk about some different types of journals. I really love this journal. It's a Levenger journal. It has these little circles on it so you can take out the pages, and I really like the way it's set up. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this because my light's kind of bright, but anyway, it has an area for the subject and the date and a little side box and lines here. It's really nice. I really like it. Let's see if I can get it. Maybe here. There you go. Okay. Another journal that I really liked. Sometimes you'll go to an event and they'll give you a journal. One of these journals. I love this journal. I save it for different special occasions that I'm working on. It's from Analog Designs. I'll put it up here so you can see it. I like it because it has room for the rings in it. It's adjustable. It's leather. I really like the design of the page. You can see it has a space for the subject and for the date, time, the place. What you probably can't see is there's lines here, but there's also dots. So you can almost use it like a graph. So if you're going to do some drawings on it or something like that. Oh, I love this journal. I can tell you what I've used it for. I actually have used this. I had a coaching business when I moved back from the East Coast to California, and what I keep in here is ideas for that actual coaching business that hopefully I can pick up and do again. I started it when I was here and I really liked it, but then my daughter really needed me to be home with her, and so I took some time off and I was a stay-at-home mom, which I really loved, but I hope I can do some more coaching. Here's a journal that I just picked up. I love this journal. I got this locally here. It's Asian inspired. It has some little Chinese writing on the side here. I don't know what it says. This journal has gold leaf on the sides and just has some lines in it. I use this journal mostly for quotes. I have my exercise log in here. I have things that really inspire me. I read books and I'll write some things in it. I'm reading a book now. It's called Quantum Success. This is the second time, maybe it's the third time I've read it. It actually has some journaling techniques in here that you can actually use in this. I will incorporate some art into it. This is a mixed media art that I worked on, and then I got really inspired. I went on Pinterest and there were some quotes in there, so I put that around this art. I love this journal. I've been using this every day this year. This was a little bit more expensive. This was like $15, but I saw it and I was in love with it and I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I actually went back and got it. I normally wouldn't spend so much money on something like this, but I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I thought, oh, all right, let's just go get this. Last year I was working on journaling. I love best practices. I've been collecting them my whole life. I have a lot of files with best practices of everyone's. Sometimes I don't keep track of actually who they are, but this is another journal that I have. It has all kinds of quotes in it. I did this one last year, and it was from a number of books that I had read. Sometimes I'll actually make a photocopy of things and actually put it inside this journal, and so that I can go back to it. I really love this journal. It's almost completely full. I got this journal from the dollar store. It's not leather. It looks like it is, but it just has lines in it. And I have some pages marked with tape flags so that I can go back to it. The tape flags are mostly for things dealing with anxiety. I had a lot of life changes last year, and you would think I would be unhappy about it, but actually it's been a very good thing, and I'm happy. I think generally I'm pretty happy. I started keeping, as part of my journal, a temperature log to like track how I was feeling every day, and I realized every day I was happy. I barely ever am not happy. If I am, it's only for a very short time. Actually, maybe only minutes or hours. So I haven't actually been keeping that temperature log any longer. So this is from the dollar store. Another journal, and I keep it separate, is just a daily at a glance journal. And you can see there's a tape measure in here, and this is just a health and beauty journal. I usually keep it in the bathroom. I keep my weight in it. I keep my measurements in it. I sew, so it's really important for me to always know what my measurements are. I keep track of all my health and beauty. If I have waxing done, if I have I get threading done. I don't know if you've ever had threading done. Oh, I love it. Anyway, I keep track of that in here. I keep track of when I get my hair done in here. So this is basically usually stays in the bathroom, and I've been keeping track of my weight and my measurements for a very long time. And they've fluctuated based on a lot of different things. But this is my recent journal for this. I keep it separate. I keep it in the bathroom. This is a journal I got. Oh, I love this journal. This is a journal that I use if I'm going to be doing any speaking. I will write in my journal, and then I know that I've already done the speaking because the pages are folded, but I can always go back. So everything that's active hasn't been folded yet, and I will use this. I was with Toastmasters for about 3 years. Again, before my daughter really needed me to be home with her, and I used the same technique, although it wasn't the same journal. This journal, I believe I got it from Staples, and maybe it was like $5 or something like that, but I really love it. All it has in it is lines and the date in it, and anyway, I have a lot of things written in it. There are certain books like this one, Quantum Success, which I really highly recommend. I love this book. I love it. There's other ones. There's companion guides to a lot of books. Like if you're writing a book, I'm going to suggest this in the beginning, write a companion guide to that book so that people can do a journal from it. A lot of times when people are writing a book, they don't think, oh, okay, I need to, have some journaling aspect to it. One of the ones that I have a journaling book for is The 4 Agreements. Oh, I love that book. I love that book. Oddly enough, by accident, I bought the journaling portion of that book by accident first. So I actually read that before I read The 4 Agreements, which was really helpful because it gave me some structure to go back and read. I don't know how you like to read books like this, but I actually, when I read a book, I have to stop and think about it. I have to process it. Sometimes it takes me a really long time. I like to highlight in books. I like to go back and read the same books over and over again. I like to see what I've been paying attention to and actually how I've grown since the last time I've read it. I highly recommend this book. This is my new journal this year. This is a personal journal. I told you I was keeping my daily temperature in here, but I found that I don't really need to do that because I'm generally a very happy person. I don't usually have a lot of sad days. If I do, it's usually only minutes or a few hours. In this journal, I'll keep my food log and my exercise log. I really highly recommend keeping your exercise log. It's really nice to look back and take a look at what you've done. I also have this strategy in this log. I actually keep on a post-it note things that I need to do, for the week. On here, at least try to have 3 things that I'm working on and try to accomplish those 3 things. Sometimes it's a work in progress. I have a strategy for dealing with things. It almost looks like, if you're observing me from far away, it would look like almost like I'm crazy. It's called MBWA. It's called Manage by Walking Around. A lot of times in your life you have things that are just bothering you, and I have a certain amount of time every week that I dedicate to MBWA, Manage by Walking Around, and I'll actually just walk around and take care of this and take care of that, because sometimes you're busy and you have these things that just add up after a while. So I'll set a time for that. I will usually set a time in my mind or set an actual timer on my phone, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, to see how much I can get done within that short amount of time. One journal that I got that I haven't used yet is the Rocketbook journal, and it's kind of inspired me. The issue that I have that I haven't used it yet is that I feel really limited because you have to use a special pen, and I have to buy a lot of special pens because I need to use a lot of colors. Anyway, the Rocketbook looks like this, and inside of it you can write, and it's reusable. You take a photo of it with your phone, and there's different categories that you can use. It's a little detail oriented. Maybe I'll get into a specific category for the Rocketbook when I start using it more, and I can give you better feedback. But you can go online on YouTube and see different videos for the Rocketbook. It's reusable. It may be they say it's the last one you'll ever need. I don't know. I love journals, so I have a lot of them. And that is a basic overview of some of the journals that I have. I think it's kind of nice to keep separate journals. Like I said, health and beauty journal in the bathroom is awesome. You could also keep, like if you have makeup or things like that, I usually try to write on my makeup, especially like mascara, anything I use on my eyes for hygiene purposes, the date that I actually start using it with permanent marker, but you can also put that in your journal. So I hope that you find this helpful. This is my first video for journaling, and I look forward to leaving you messages about journaling in the future, and I'm going to give you a virtual hug. We're all together. Virtual hug. Have a great day.